Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Now, today, if you remember, in the last call, we started to see that UID plus mail address authentication, right? If you want to, we can add multiple filters. If you remember, in PCV, we added that filter, right? UID is equal to $username or UID is equal to $username, right? That is the one which we did right in the PCV. And even in the every SAML connection also we are doing it. Because in SAML connection, whatever the filter we are using it, we are doing it for we are doing it to get the attributes right. And for the PCV, we are doing it for the authentication basically. That is what. When and all we are having that, PCV or wherever the filter we are using it, we need to have it basically. Let's do. We will enable the username that is a UID plus mail address authentication actually. Maybe in the PCV we are having the filter right. This is the filter right. We are going to add. Basically we can add multiple filters actually. You can add any number of filters here. 1, 2, 3 like that. We can add it actually. But here let's do it. Can you copy that and then put it in the notebook? Let's do it. UID is equal to $username. Now what we are going to do? We are going to here UID is equal to $username, right? Now here if I want to add mail, right? Obviously the right hand side, it never changes. $username, it never changes actually. Only in the left hand side, whatever the attributes, it will get changed basically. Can you? No, don't do anything here. Here delete the mail is equal to. Can you copy that? Sorry, can you open the bracket before that? UID. Not in the middle. Actually delete that one, not like a Eastern Strider. This is different. Close the bracket there. Now, after that username, that curly braces right. After that, close the bracket. And then open another one and put the mail is equal to $username inside that one. Now you can understand, right? Now we need to give the pipe symbol actually. Go to the start. No, not there. Actually, you need to put it there in the starting. Can you go to the front? Before that, put no only one. Actually, that's fine. If you want to put it in the middle, and then you need to open the bracket before and then close it after. That's all. Close it in the last. That's all. Copy this and put it there. This is the filter. Similarly, if you want to add a third one, you can add it there like mobile is equal to $username. Like that, we can keep on add it actually. Now save it. Is that enough actually? No, right. We need to put it where and all we are using the filter. We need to update there also actually. Not only the PCV, because in PC for authentication we are using it, but for other steps also we are using, right? Adapter we are using in SAML connections also. We are using it right. Because to get the attributes also, we are using the filter right. There also, you need to do the change actually. Can you go to the adapter? Which adapter? Now here. Here there is a filter, right? In that filter also, you need to do the change actually. Because this one is used to get the attributes right. I mean sometimes if you are using the mail address right, authentication will happen, but getting the attributes, it will get failed, right? That's why we are putting it here also actually. Save it. Where and all this one is available, right? Please do the change. I don't think we are using it here. No, right? I don't think. I think we are using it in the applications directly. Can you check that one? Now here, if you could see right the filter. Now the filter will get changed here actually. Because now here, instead of username, you need to put the subject actually. Now here, it's not using anything. You can leave it. I think in the HTTP basic adapter it's using. And then check here. I think it's not there here. You can leave it. If it is used, we can use it actually. That's why please make sure that, please make sure that we need to put this filter right before any configuring any SAML connection. Actually, in the middle, if you put it right, all the connection, we need to do the change. That will be a hectic work then, actually. Now try to access the application using the mail address. But this is where I need to do. I need to confirm. If you could see right, your UID is already part of Cisco Do, right? But your mail address is not there. Your mail address will be acting as a new user for the Cisco Duo. Actually, because Cisco Duo is not, it's not connecting to your data store, right? It cannot be able to understand. Cisco Duo will understand you as a new user. It will ask you to type the sorry. It will ask you to register again in the M of I actually. This is the same thing will happen for all the M of I actually. This is like one of the disadvantage. We cannot do anything else. Like we need to register again actually in the Cisco Duo. It will happen for all the users actually. It's not like one user, like whenever, if you are using another, like another account, same account. If you are using a different ID means, then obviously like it's the same thing. The Cisco Duo, it's not managing right. Because we are the one who is passing the ID to the Cisco Duo. It will take it as a second one only actually. New account only. You need to register again in the Cisco Duo actually. Continue. Skip for now. Log. You can able to log in. Now, if you could see right, it's working fine. I forgot totally. No, it won't. Can you go back? Here, if you remember right, we are using the adapter username only, right? In the SAML response, we need to send the UID in the response, right? We are sending the username in the response. Username means whatever you are typing it in the adapter, right? At the login screen. We are typing the mail address means it will send the mail address. It will get failed, right? Can you go back to the PingFederate console? Salesforce. In the Salesforce connection, if you remember, we are sending the username in the adapter, actually cell subject, right? You are passing the username in the SAM subject, right? That is the subject. That means it's not a UID. It's basically like a whatever you are using. In the login screen, can you add the UID in the LDAP and then pass that one actually? You click on the policy contract. Configure browser SSO. Scroll down. Go to the LDAP and then get the UID. And then map the UID. Then it will work actually. Even though if you are trying to access the SAML connection, so may address. Now click on done. Can you click on done? I just want to see the summary there. Can you click on next? And then in the summary, I just want to check it. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. UID is good. In the SAML subject, can you change to the LDAP and UID? Attribute a contract fulfillment. You need to choose the LDAP and then UID. Now, if you try to authenticate, it will work. Previously, you are using the subject, right? Subject means whatever you are typing it in the login screen, right? Previously, you are typing only UID. The application will ask for the UID in the response, right? That is the SAML subject in the response, right? That's why we are using only one attribute in the authentication. That's why we are passing this authentication policy on a trans subject. That means I-123 will send actually because we are authenticating A-123 only, right? But now, when you are using the mail address role@gmail.com, that will send it in the SAML subject, actually. It will match it with Salesforce, but it is not matching it right. It will get fail actually. It is expecting A23. That's why you are getting the error. That is why we are passing the UID in the response. That is your federation ID. That is your UID, unique ID we are calling this. Save it. Now try to access the same application. It will work actually. Now you are using the mail address. Can you do the mobile? Now if you could see, it's working fine, right? This is how we can able to use the UID plus mail authentication actually. Now we did this one right. Multiple. I mean here you can able to use multiple filters actually. Mobile number also you can add it, but mobile number not that much required. These are the two mostly or widely used filters basically. UID plus mail address authentication actually. Now the next one is known as the Kerberos adapter. Here since Kerberos adapter is nothing but that is known as the seamless authentication inside the organization network. Actually, this Kerberos adapter we will see theoretically. I will show you what are the steps to configure it. What is the problem, right? This Kerberos adapter will work only for the Active Directory actually. It won't work for any other directories basically. If you are using the ping, that means this Kerberos adapter won't work. Because this Kerberos authentication, right? It is an Active Directory solution actually. There is a Microsoft solution. They are not enabling it for all the other tools actually. Maybe in future they might have, but I don't know whether they will be enabling or not. But it's been like nearly 10 years actually, but still they didn't enable for any other solutions. But still that's fine. Here, if you are using the Active Directory, then we can use the Kerberos authentication. But any other ping directory means the Kerberos authentication won't work actually. Because if you are enabling the Kerberos the steps in PingFederate is simple actually. It's like only you need to create a Kerberos adapter. But in Active Directory, there are a lot of changes you need to do actually. Because in active only, there are some changes. We need to provide it. What are the changes basically? The first step. You need to ask the Active Directory team to do these changes actually. Because we are not the correct team to handle it, right? First change, enable Kerberos authentication for all the users actually. This one might not be enabled at the starting itself. They need to do that manually. And can you go back to the Chrome browser? I will show you where we need to do the change. Not as basically there. Sorry. Can you open another tab in the Chrome browser? This type Kerberos authentication option in Active Directory. Now here if you scroll to the top right, that is in images, right? Can you click on the images? I will show you that option. Here, if you could see right, there is an, can you just scroll down a bit? Where it is? Scroll down. It's not showing you properly. I cannot. It's too low. There's an option. Scroll to that. This is the one. In the bottom, in the next line, right? The next one. Click on that one. Not this one. Can you close it? One. That one. The next one. Before, there is a middle right. There is a red color option. It was marked right. It was marked on the, not this one. In the same line, the red line was marked right. It's only the separate image actually. If you could see right, for every user, In their properties in the LDAB, right, Active Directory, there is an option. Use Kerberos authentication. Do not require Kerberos authentication. Normally do not require Kerberos authentication. Should be there. The Kerberos team. The active team. They need to use the account supports Kerberos. AES-256-bit encryption actually. The third option. They need to enable it. Third or second. First, anything they want, they can be able to use it basically. But they cannot choose T. Do not require. If they are not. If they are choosing, do not require means. Then even though if you are enabling Kerberos authentication, it won't work for the users actually. It will get fail actually. They need to enable this for all even though if it is 100 users, 1000 users or 1 lakh users, they need to enable it for all the people actually. They won't do it manually. They will automatically do it. That's not at all a problem. Within a single. Maximum within a 15 minutes, right? It will be done actually from them. But they need to do that. This change, we need to ask them to do it. Now the next point. Next one is that is T. Kerberos domain controller like that actually. That is the KDC domain controller basically. Or like normal domain controller or domain endpoint. We can call it as data center or domain controller or like Kerberos endpoint, anything. It's just a simple. That is your AD hostname actually. Active Directory hostname. That is like Ping Directory hostname. We are having it right. The similar. It's similar like that actually. In order to connect to that hostname right, we need a username and password right. One service account and then the password. We need that. Second option, this one the host name. Third option is service account and then the password. Now, if you go back to the PingFederate console, I'll show you where we need to configure the KDC and all. Can you go to the system? In the left hand side data and credentials to right. Click on that one. Here Active Directory domain right. Click on that one. Now it's still loading. Now here, if you could see right, the domain realm name right, this realm name or Kerberos host name, we need to put it. Once you put it there right, host name, you can also put it or you can give some name here actually for the domain actually. Normally, all the people will use the host name as the domain name only. Here in the key distribution center right, that is the basically KDC KBSBus domain controller basically. Here you need to put the host name of your Active Directory. Once you did it right, you can able to test it if it is working. You should have. If you are using the correct username and password, then it will work actually. Once you create it right, then you can go to the authentication IDP adapters. We can create a Kerberos adapter actually. Here Kerberos adapter, you can able to create it. Instance name you can give. Instance ID you can give something. Click on next. You just have to choose T. Kerberos domain reluminum. That's all. Whatever you have created previously, right? You need to create it. That's all actually. The next thing, the normal extend the contract. That's all actually. Nothing else basically. Based on your Kerberos domain controller and then the service account, it can be able to connect to the Active Directory and then do the authentication actually. If that is any kind of a issue, comes right. There are lots of issues will come for the Kerberos. Even though if you are correctly mapping, or even though everything mapped correctly on our PingFederate side, the user's browser compatibility issues will come. If the Active Directory option is not chosen, means that's all actually. The issues. If it is coming for the Kerberos, means it's not like PingFederate will have an issue. If it is working for you right, then there is no issue with the PingFederate actually. Definitely there is an issue with the user's browser or the Kerberos option in the Active Directory itself. Actually, this is how we can able to enable the Kerberos adapter in the PingFederate basically. You need to configure the Kerberos adapter in the policies or directly SAML connection. Also, you can configure it. When you configure the domain rel name, can you just go to the system and give some your host name as the domain rel name, your PingFederate host name as the domain rel name, and then use the cnsql directory manager. Actually, it won't work actually, but cnsql directory manager and then the password. I think directory spelling is wrong. What happened? Oh, what happened? It's not saving you. Can you try to save this? Oh, the password is not accepting it. Then anyways, that's fine. Can you uncheck that? Pause, uncheck that, retain previous key and then save it. Now can you go to the IDP adapters and Kerberos adapter? Choose the type as Kerberos adapter, click on next. Choose the domain name and then click on next. Now the extend the contract, we can able to use it. That's a username only. Click on next. It's already there. It will automatically take your username in the adapter itself. Actually choose the username as a pseudonym. The same stuff. How you are mapping the adapter right. Click on next. No, we don't need any adapter, contract translator BIM. Click on next and then save it. This is how you can able to configure the adapter. Likewise, how you are configuring the adapter in the SAML connection or configuring the policy contract in the SAM, right? The same way you can able to do it. Actually, that's all. No other differences. Actually, whenever the SAM connection, if you are having the Kerberos adapt, right, you're all ready. Kerberos adapter will work only inside the organization network. Only. You are connecting to the LAN network or in the VPN only. Whenever, if your SAML connection try to hit it right, the Kerberos adapter will get triggered. If it is getting to your right, it will go to the domain rel name which you have created. Right? It will go to the KDC with a service account and then the password it will authenticate inside the KDC. Then it will gain the access inside the Kerberos domain controller. Then what will check? Right in your browser, it will create a Kerberos grant ticket, that is TTGT. And then that TGT will reach to the Active Directory. Then it will automatically take your UID and then the password from the. It will automatically take the UID from your browser because you are already connected to the LAN network or by using the VPN, right? It will take that UID. It will go to that particular Active Directory authenticating you and then it will return back the TGT again back to the Kerbos. Actually, if it is accepted, then the PingFederate will allow the user to log in into the it will generate a SAML response, and then before generating the SAML response, once the authentication is successful, then TU can again connect back to the LDAP to get that attributes. Also, you can able to do that and generate the response and redirect the user to the application. Basically, that is based on the username. Whatever your type, whatever it's there in your machine, right? Because often when you're logging into the LAN network, means you are logging with your UID and then the password, right? Your domain, actually TCS/ your UID and then the password, right? It will automatically take that one. Actually, you are the Kerbos authentication, right? It will take that one. Actually, if you are in a different domain, let's say like if you are in a different domain, public domain actually. Example, /UID means then the Kerbos will get failed because Kerbos is for the KDC, is for your domain. Actually, if you're using a different domain, that's all. It won't work. It will throw the pop-up HTTP basic pop-up. We have seen, right, that pop-up. It will get shown. Actually, this is how we can able to use the Kerbos adapter. If you are using the Fiddler, maybe in your organization, right? If you're using the PingFed, right, try to install the Fiddler. It won't. You cannot be able to see it in the SAML tracer. Actually, that's a deep trace. Actually, SAML tracer is just a normal trace. Fiddler is the one which you can able to. That's a deep tracer inside the browser. But those are all. It's not a good one to have it actually. But I have seen that one by using the Fiddler only. That is on long time back actually. But Fiddler, it will work. We can able to see the TGT is going back to the Active Directory and coming back from the AD basically on the port number 8888. Active port number is 88 for the Kerbos actually. If there is any issue on the firewall, if the port number is not open, right, then that Kerbos won't work. Actually, I have faced I think 3 years before there was one issue. Actually, this we have been able to Kerbos as a new one. On the development environment only it. We at the first time only, in that project, we enabled Kerbos authentication as a new. We created the Kerbos adapter. Everything is fine, all good. Testing the connectivity. The results are fine. But when the user is trying, when I am trying to access the application, but it was not working. Actually, it is throwing me the HTTP basic pop up. Actually, that adapter because Kerbos is getting failed. Then we have checked everything. All good actually, but then only we installed the Fiddler and then checked it. The 8888 port is giving the red color. Actually, that is, it was not reaching to the Active Directory that then in the firewall, it was called the 88. It was not opened actually. Then once they opened, it was working. Actually, these things, only Fiddler can able to help. You cannot install the Fiddler in your normal. I don't know whether they will allow you to install your firewall or network team, right? They can able to trace the request by using the Fiddler. Actually, even when I saw that one, right, it was done by the network team only. These are all. It's a simple one. It's not like that. Not that much kind of complex configuration actually. Now let's see one more adapter that is known as the certificate adapter. Actually, certificate adapter is nothing but it's a X by 0 night adapter. This is also simple one. If you can, you open in the bottom search right. Just can you open the run command? Can you type certain grams here? Personal. in your organization, right? Maybe if you, this is your personal laptop, you are not having any certificate actually in your organization. If you install any kind of, if you are a personal laptop, you are not having any certificate. That kind of your group policy subdata, right? You will have one kind. Have certainly like a user certificate. That kind of a user certificate will be in your user store. Actually, this is your users what you can able to see that, right? Current user personal certificate. Actually, that sort of it can be issued by your internal certificate authority. Actually, that will be one kind of a certificate authority that can able to create your certificate. Actually, like for example, this is it, right? Like that. One kind of internal authority will be there. They will be enabling your certificate. Basically, they will create your certificate. Inside your certificate adapter, maybe what we can do, right? We can able to create a certificate adapter, and inside that, if you put whatever the certificate authority, you can put it, right. If you have that certificate issued by that authority, means the authentication will happen seamlessly. That means your authentication will happen on the certificate, actually not on your username and password. It will happen on your certificate actually, that is to an assist certificate based authentication. You need to put the exact certificate authority in the PingFederate. If you are using a different certificate authority and then your user said we is issued by different authority, then it will get fail. Actually, can you go back to that authentication? IDP adapters create a new instance here if you choose the certificate adapter. Put certain adapter here. Instance ID also the same. Click on next here. What we can do? Right here you can able to do the. Here, if you could see, right, I guess here you can able to add a new road. There is a format is available if you click on that. Constraints acceptable route issue. That's a question mark right here. If you could see all the trusted certificate authority of your Java, which will mission, that is the PingFederate, or used to validate the client certificates at the TLS layer. That is your secure layer, basically. Whatever the certificate authority, what are the certificates issued by that certified authority? You need to add it here, those certified authorities. If you had it, then those certificates will work actually. But if you are adding any kind of certificate authority which is not issued any certificate means, then it won't work actually. For example, let's say like if your client survey, that is your user certificate is issued by, let's say like XIZ certificate authority, that XEZ certificate authority, you need to add it here as a issuer DIN, that is your distinguished name like that. For example, can you go back to the certificate store? Right in that certificate, can you click on any kind of trusted road certificate authorities? The first, second one, can you open that? Any certificates there? Here, if you could see, right, maybe can you open that? Just scroll down. You can click on details. There can you click on the subject. This one. No, you need to put scene. Space is equal to space. That one actually like that. You need to put the full one. You need to give it actually, then copy and put it there. Like this. You need to give then obviously the port numbers. What is the port number? Actually certificate port number. In your PingFederate, right? What will be your PingFederate host name? Engine name. What is the host name of your PingFederate? That one you can give it then. If you scroll down a bit, obviously, pass the client certificate. Subject. Obviously, client certificate. Subject is your name. Actually, that is your read. They will be creating the certificate as your rate is equal to, that is CN is equal to. Your rate will be there. For example, if your rate is A123 means they will be creating a certificate. They will be creating a certificate for your rate only. N is equal to 823. That is the past client id subject. That is a subject. Click on next. Yes, now here. If you could see right here the issuer dean. Normally your certificate will have an email also. Actually, normally your user certificate right will have the subject details. That is seen is equal to some value. That is your issuer dean basically. Or subject din, anything you can able to use it basically. Normally, we will be using the pseudonym as the subject din only. That is your if you go back to the certificate, right, seen is equal to one value, right, that is your subject din, actually the subject distinguished name. Your scene is equal to your id. Atol 23 will be there for your user certificate actually. Subject din will be your normal vid basically. Can you go back? Click on next. Now you can able to choose the pseudonym as the subject din actually and then click on next and save it. That's all. This is how we can able to use the next and then save it. Normally the subject din will have your user id. That is your scene is equal to your id will be there. That is known as the certificate adapter. What? You can add multiple certificate authorities also actually in a single certificate adapter, right? We can add multiple certificate authority also. You can able to add it. You are authenticating based on the certificate actually. But these are all will work only inside the organization network. If you are outside the organization network, it won't work actually. I have tested also with the real time. It's not working outside the organization network, actually only inside that organization network. That is also right. If the user didn't accept, there will be one pop-up will come actually accept the certificate like that. If the user is not accepting it, right, then that's all. Actually, it won't work for them. The certificate adapter. Actually, these are all not for the real-time use cases. They won't be using it. Maybe like one application they may use for some kind of a testing purpose. We can able to use it because real time, right, we cannot confirm all the users are having the user certificate in their store or not. Actually, if the certificate is expired, right, then that's also will give a problem actually. This instead of you typing the username and password right, the authentication will happen on the certificate. Actually, the client authentication should be there. If that there is no certificate, then the authentication will get failed. The certificate is expired means then that will also will get failed actually. If the GPU is not updated properly and then that is also will get failed actually, then these are all, it's like highly risk actually. We cannot expect this to use it for 1000 users or 2000 users application. We cannot work with the certificate adapter. Any one application which is having like 5 users or 10 users. You may try it, but in a real time, right? It's not that much useful actually if you're going any organization, right? This is not a general adapter. Actually, like ATML adapter is 100%. That's a general adapter actually. But this is a 509 adapter. It's not like all the users will use it. There are like real-time compatibility issues. Are there actually the certificate expiration or that? the certificate expiration on, or that we cannot expect all the users whether the group policy update properly or not, right? If the new system, right, and then group policy, it won't update properly, the certificate will get, we will take some time to install it automatically actually. In that case, it will also give an issue. Actually, if there is any kind of a user change the password, right? I mean, if you change the password, then the existing certificate will get failed. Actually, it will get corrupted. Once the user needs to wait for 15 minutes to 15 minutes or 45 minutes to group policy to get update actually in between. If they are using the certificate adapter, then it will also get fail actually, because the certificate, I mean maximum 45 minutes is the group policy time actually. Interval every 45 minutes, the group policy on your mission, right? It will get update. For example, if you reset the password on 11 am, means the 11 and the last group policy update you refresh. You reset the password on 11:25 means you need to wait like till 11:45 to your certificate will get refreshed. Actually, in between, if you try to access any application, that's all. It won't work actually. That is why this kind of a little bit unnecessary issues will come. But this is not for all the users and for all the applications. We won't enable it. Actually, it won't work for outside. If it is working for outside, right, then it's not. It's not a secured one actually. It's a totally because you are not going to use the username and password, right? If you're not using the username and password, right? If you're working for outside, right, then that's totally a not secured actually. And finally, do not forget to share and subscribe to our channel.